Kids across the country hospitalized after contracting a rare and scary lung virus that starts off like a cold but can turn deadly. ABC's Lindsay Davis has the story.
This morning, just as the school season begins, a mysterious virus striking children by the hundreds is spreading across the country from Colorado.
I was scared. I remember thinking that I was going to die.
To Missouri.
I was having trouble breathing.
To Ohio and beyond.
We're really using up almost all our beds, and that's a little unusual for this time of year.
Take a look. At least 1,000 children in these 10 states stricken with a respiratory illness over the past 3 weeks. The CDC believes it's the potentially fatal enterovirus 68. Symptoms start out like the common cold, runny nose, coughing, sneezing, and fever, but soon turn much more dire, with children losing consciousness and having difficulty breathing. Children under 5 are most susceptible, but many are still at risk. People like 13-year-old Will Cornejo, who suffers from asthma.
My head started hurting after my lungs started sort of closing up.
Cornejo is now recovering at a Denver hospital where at least 900 children have already been affected.
To go from a cold to, being probably minutes away from death that's kind of scary.
The virus now prompting warnings from doctors. Some hospitals even banning child visitors to prevent the virus from spreading even further.
What we're seeing in the hospitals is really the tip of the iceberg.
In Kansas City, health officials observed a spike in mid-August right after school started. And while doctors recommend that you keep hands washed regularly, they say hand washing is something that kids really don't do. But health officials in the Midwest throwing around the U word, calling this unprecedented, Robin.
Okay, Lindsay, we're going to bring in ABC's Dr. Richard Besser, who's been talking to the CDC's director of the Division of Viral Diseases. And what are you hearing?
Yeah, well, this is not an unusual time for respiratory outbreaks. Kids go back to school, they share things, they bring them home, give them to their siblings. And it is the time of year that we tend to see something called enteroviruses. But this particular one is rare. They rarely see this one, and it's been a very dangerous infection.
So what should parents do?
Well, Lindsay hit it. It's hand washing. Parents have to supervise that. So hand washing, if your child's sick, you want to keep them home so they're not going to share it. Covering coughs and sneezes. And the thing about this virus is it causes wheezing. So if you notice any difficulty breathing, you need to get help right away. Those are the kids who've gotten most severely ill, those with asthma.
It's in approximately 10 states right now, but you say it's going to spread.
Yeah, I've never seen a virus that respected a border. So it's in 10 states now. It's going to spread across the country. And although they've been identifying it in kids, if you're an adult with a breathing problem, you have to watch out for this too.
I know there's much more you want to talk about this, and you're going to be taking people's questions on Twitter?
That's right after this,
All
at
right.
Dr. Richard Besser.
All right, Rich, thanks.